What happened this episode? It was so boring. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days. This is season 4, episode 9. Shoulda known. Did someone say that? Why is that the name of the episode? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share on any social media platform you deem fit. Let's jump into this episode. So the first couple that we're gonna talk about is Jeffrey and Varya. So Jeffrey calls Varya and Varya agrees to meet him to have brunch or something. First part of their conversation, Varya is like, how can I ever trust someone who's a criminal? And I'm just like, why is she so dramatic about this? I am not even defending Jeffrey. I'm not defending him. If I were to start dating somebody and they were to tell me that they went to jail for about 2.5 years from the age of 25 to 26 for selling drugs, I would just be like, oh, tell me about it. I don't know that I would be like, oh my God, this criminal. Listen, if you go to federal prison for 2 years, you're not that bad. If someone told me that they had been in jail for 10 years, I would have a reaction. But 2.5 years, like I would be like, yeah, I would have a reaction, but girl, I would just be so curious. She forgives him and says, we gotta tell my mom now. And I'm just like, why? Why? I don't understand that move at all. If she reacted that way and she really loves Jeffrey, she wouldn't want her mom to know that about him. He agrees to it, saying that he's gonna do it. He's just gonna come clean to the mom. They go to the mom's apartment. Her brother is there. And when her brother and her mother find out, their reaction to me is just, again, a lot. The brother doesn't get up to fight, but he's like, how can we trust this? Mother's like, this is a hell of a fairy tale. And just like all this shit. All start to cry. Everyone except Jeffrey. And they're huddled on the couch together. It's the weirdest segment. The next couple that we're gonna talk about, speaking of another weird segment, is Ash and Avery. Okay, so they're still in this place that's not the original place she landed. He decides to take them snorkeling, which she's super excited about. So they're in the car, she kills a spider. He's like, no, karma, oh, that little guy, oh no. Then they get to their destination, they get on the boat. Avery has something to tell Ash because she noticed while he was showing her something on his phone that he had 68 missed text messages. And so she wants to know like how he runs his business because it seems like these women have access to him if they have his personal phone and are able just to text him. Why do you need to be able to text your dating coach? Because they've just had this wonderful time. Like they've gone snorkeling, they've held hands while snorkeling. So they were on the boat afterwards. When Avery asks him to tell her about his job and how he maneuvers it, he says that he doesn't feel like she has any room to ask that. No ma'am, no God. Avery was like, what? So Ash is like, you know, I'm single right now. Oh, you're single? No, I'm not. I mean, he's like, first of all, don't talk to me about how I run my business because I'm not married. Everything that he's doing is just kind of like applying his stupid love therapy session. Like, I just think that he thinks he's this guru. I wouldn't trust him at all after that. All right, so you know what? There was no Ed and Rose this episode. I feel a little ways about it. Like now I really know that Ed and Rosemary are really carrying the show. All right, so the next person we're gonna talk about is Stacy and Darcy. So Darcy's packing up the hotel and she puts on the sluttiest, cutest little outfit. She's got on some mid-calf, elastic lace-up, open-toe, 5-inch Louboutin boots. And she just like out the door with her little luggage and she gets into her Uber and she's like, I just want to get back to Connecticut. So she gets back to Connecticut and she meets her sister at some kind of canoe club where they're like sitting out on the water or over the lake or something, and it's beautiful, but they look cold. She tells Stacy about what happened and I want to know, does Darcy have a wig on? They then both share twin minds and both start to cry, and they're crying, their faces. It was like, they tried so hard to move their faces, and when they did, they just looked like smushed Cabbage Patch dolls. Also, like, why are they both crying over Tom in public? So the next couple that we're gonna talk about is Yolanda and her daughter, Kara. Basically, the last time we saw Yolanda, this person sent Yolanda a threatening email saying, if you don't give me X amount of money, I'm going to release your nudes. Yolanda's like, oh, somebody must have hacked the Williams account because I only gave those pictures to the Williams and we're in her fake house. That is not their house. Remember I talked about it when they first showed it to us? There was no furniture in it. Like, how did 7 people live in that what looked like a 2-bedroom home? Like, this is all fake. So she goes to have a dinner date. She's gonna talk to her daughter about the Williams. So they get to the restaurant. Why did I lose my train of thought? Oh my God, this whole time I didn't have blush on. This whole time, no blush. Also, no lip. I'm not gonna put a lip on. All right, sorry for the Vaseline. So they get to dinner and Yolanda tells her daughter that 1, she hasn't spoken to Williams since she reached out to ask him if he was Nigerian, and 2, she received a threatening email. And her daughter goes, so it's from Williams. And she's like, no, that person sounds evil. That couldn't be Williams. That's not the tone of his voice. Yolanda, nobody believes that you're this dumb. Also, like, why don't you just let him release your nudes? What is that gonna do? You look good, girl. I don't understand. Like, are you a celebrity? What do you mean release your nudes? Like, what is so weird? Girl, who cares? Oh, there was one other dumb thing that Cara was looking at her mom for. Something else dumb that Yolanda said. But you know what I'm talking about. Let's move on. The next person that we're gonna talk about is Dum Dum David. Okay, so Dum Dum David is so excited because he's gonna meet Lana today at 2 p.m. He tells her, hey Lana, I'm in Progressgrad. I wanna meet you. Do you wanna meet here at 2 p.m.? Lana does not reply back quick. She takes her time. She says, okay, after like what feels like 8 minutes, and then immediately closes the chat. How is that your girlfriend? So we all know she's not gonna show up, but Dum Dum David doesn't know that. So he gets there, he has some flowers that he's purchased, he orders a bottle of champagne, and 2 hours later, he's already drinking 2 glasses of that champagne, and the lady working at the restaurant that he's sitting at is just looking at him. He then gets upset. You know, he didn't get her number, so he doesn't have any way of contacting her. He didn't bring his laptop. So he gets up, and he leaves. And he's so angry and he's so frustrated that he's decided that he is going to drive over to her home. The woman who works at the restaurant is just like, I see it every day. Why let beautiful flowers go to waste? Ukrainian women and these dumbass Americans, that happens every day, ma'am? Wow. There is a racket going on in Purposland. David then goes to her apartment. He puts it in the GPS. Scary, just drives up to her apartment. 1, I know that's not her apartment. We all know that, right? 2, the neighborhood, there's graffiti everywhere. There's like grass patches. So I'm like, Lana is not gonna live in this neighborhood. If she's scamming the way she's scamming, she could probably afford better digs. Unless it's some kind of racket where like, unless it's some kind of like Ukrainian racket where this pimp gathers all these women and makes them work 16 hours being on this website, responding to these American men, siphoning money from them for the website, but the women don't ever actually get any of the money. That's why she has to live there. Anyways, he gets there and he knocks on the door. Somebody opens the door and then the end of the episode. So we don't get to see. So I guess we'll see next episode what happens. Okay, so the most semi-interesting segment of this episode was Mohammed and Lisa. So we start off with Lisa's confessional and she's like, I wore the traditional Hausa guard and I bought her a goat, but she still said no. So Mohammed and I are meeting with Mohammed's brother, Mohammed. Good evening, Mohammed. Thank you. Mohammed, listen, I am grateful that I called you and you came. You are the only person I think can help us talk to Mom. Mohammed says, our mother was shocked to discover that you wanted to marry this woman. And then in a confessional, he's like, Lisa is too old, she's American, and she wants to take her son away from here. No, his mother would not say yes to that. Then Usman says, she is in love with me, and I am in love with her, and we are willing to do anything to make it possible for us to marry. This is the reason she came here, down here to our house. Then Lisa says, but for your brother, I'll travel to any part of the earth. It's true. Then Usman says, you know, when we started, it was play. But then we both fell in love with each other. I truly love her too. You know, United States is #1. The economy there is strong. We called you here so we could see if you could talk to the family for us. Usman's my destiny. My everything. Mohammed's reaction was, Mohammed says, it will not be easy. I am willing to help you and I will talk with Mom. Then Usman says, thank you, Mohammed. Now let's move on. The last couple that we're going to talk about is Lips and Boobies. What are their names? I don't know. But they're fighting again. They go to a party and Boobs is wearing this 90s dress that looks like it's some sort of satiny burgundy material, maybe with like a black pattern on it. Louboutins, I guess, some red bottoms, and a leather coat. It's like she's not Darcy, you know, like Darcy before she had more accessories and money. Just wholly inappropriate for this outing. She saw how the other girl was dressed and she didn't take that in consider and wore just whatever she wanted. So they get to the party, girl, she's cold. And they decide to drink some beers to warm up. And so she warms up, girl. And then she decides that she's going to confront one of Lips's friends and be like, yo, so what's your relationship with Lips? And the dude's like, we're very close friends. Lips says in her confessional that she's only made out with Adam like 2 or 3 times. The way Boobs says it is like, you guys have hooked up a few times. I'm sorry, when someone says that some people have hooked up, I think sex. Why would you say just because they kiss? I don't know, girl. It's like semantics, but it's important semantics. She's over there questioning Adam. It's making Lips feel really uncomfortable. And so she gets like frustrated and starts to say like, hey, stop doing that. And then Boobs is like, why not? This is what I'm here to do, to meet your friends and get to know everything about your life. So obviously I'm going to investigate your friends. Lips gets upset and goes into the house, and 2 of her friends follow her in the house, and Boobs and Adam continue talking. She yells at Lips in front of Adam, in front of everybody. Boobs is being so inappropriate and it's ugly, and it ends with her just leaving the party in an Uber by herself, because at that point she had fucked up so royally that she couldn't stay there. Erica's friends are like, yo, she's crazy. Lips has some really great lip colors. That's why I called her Lips today. There's gotta be something interesting about this recap. This episode was just so boring. That's all that happens. Normally I'm like, oh, that's a reenactment. Oh, I'm gonna reenact that. This one I was just like, all right, you guys, so that's the end of this recap. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share on any social media platforms you deem fit. Don't forget to check out these videos here. And I will see you next week. Oh, I'm so excited for 90 Day the Other Way. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.